Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great afternoon. I'm just going to dive in and have this really a discussion about Black people, about Black communities, and why they are so unhinged and why they keep defending Black criminals. So I'm going to get started. I'm not going to waste your time or my time. So we're going to dive in, discuss it, and have a debate about it. And I also want to get your input. So, welcome back to That's It. So, you guys, as you all know, and the whole world knows about the stabbing, about Austin Metcalf, who was stabbed by Carmelo Anthony, 17-year-old, who stabbed Austin Metcalf, who was also 17 years old, and lost his life because he got stabbed by Carmelo Anthony because he did not want to get out get out of the seat that he didn't even belong in that tent in that Memorial High School. And he was just upset and being antagonizing the Austin and just being hostile and everyone is defending him. Everyone is defending Carmelo Anthony, and I don't understand why. Especially Black people, I don't understand why. If it was black on black, wouldn't be a big. It wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't even be on social media, and people would be talking about it because it's a Black kid stab a white boy. It's a race thing. Why does it have to be a race thing? Why do we always have to say if a Black person do something to another person that it's okay, it's allowed? It can't be that this person was in the wrong and you just can't just stab someone and kill that person because they're Black. Why does it have to be a race thing? And it's totally ridiculous. And this whole thing was a dispute of him sitting underneath a tent that didn't belong to him. It belonged to Austin Metcalf's team. And then he had a section where he needed to sit on the other team. And all Austin did was, excuse me, this seat doesn't belong to you. It belongs to someone else. Can you please move? And then Carmelo Anthony, like I said in my previous video, he got upset. He got hostile. And he even said, and I'm going to quote, touch me and see what happens. Now, why would you say that? Why would you say that? If the seat doesn't belong to you, a normal, rational person would just say, okay, no problem, my bad, and leave. It's the same thing, and I'm going to give you an example. When we all go to the airport and we all fly, okay, and when we go to the inside the plane, and sometimes, some people get their numbers mixed up, and then they sit in the wrong seat. And what people do, the passengers say, excuse me, this is my seat. What normal people say, okay, no problem. You don't see a passenger stabbing another person because, oh, this is my seat, even though that was not your seat. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So why? What made Carmelo Anthony just decide to get aggressive and just say, touch me and see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. Like, why would you get so angry and so violent when Austin was just asking you, excuse me, you're sitting in the wrong seat. You should have just moved. You didn't belong there. That was not your tent to be under. But it seemed like you was privileged. It seemed like, oh, no one's not going to tell me anything, so I'm just going to get hood and I'm going to get ghetto and I'm going to tell you, if you touch me, something's going to happen. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense. And now, why would he have a knife in the first place? Okay. Austin Metcalf and his brother Hunter Metcalf, they never met the young kid, excuse me. They never met Carmelo Anthony in their life. They never seen him or met him. So for Carmelo Anthony and his defense attorney saying that as a defense thing, he was defending himself. I call BS because that's not the case at all. Because Austin didn't have a weapon. He was not aggressor. Okay, he didn't say none of those things to Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was the aggressor and saying all these things to Austin. Okay, so for him to say, to use this tactic to say this is a defense, I was defending myself, it's not going to fly. Okay, it probably fly 5 years ago in 2020, but now everyone is waking up and they're not buying the BS. Okay, they're not buying the BS because no one's not falling for it. No one's not falling for it anymore. Back in the day, yes. Back in the day, people would have fought for it and said, okay, maybe it's a race thing, but it's definitely not a race thing, okay? And I just don't understand why the kid had a knife in the first place. You shouldn't be carrying a knife in a school. That's a crime. On top of that, he's a minor, 17. Okay, you know, why carry a weapon? Like, who you was trying to protect, or you was trying to protect yourself, you was trying to protect someone else, because according to the twin brothers, they never met him, they don't even know him. So for him to use that defense, saying that he defended himself, it's not going to fly. It's not, because again, there's 30 eyewitnesses saw everything, including the brother that Hunter, who witnessed it, and his own brother, his own twin brother, died in his arm. So it's not going to work. It's really not. They can try, but it's definitely not going to work. And on top of that, they started a GoFundMe, and raised $250,000 for his attorney fee. Unbelievable. And people are supporting him. People are supporting this criminal like he did the moral thing. Like he did the right thing. He killed someone. He stabbed someone in the chest. And that kid is dead. That kid will never be alive again. The parents are suffering and they have to plan a funeral arrangement to bury their son. Okay? What's his name? Sorry. Hunter lost his brother. Okay? That family will never be the same again. Including the Anthony's family will never be the same again. But at the same token, their son is still alive. Maybe the son is still going to be in prison, but he's alive. And the other son is gone. So I don't understand how they're supporting a criminal and raising all this money for his defense attorney. It's just mind-boggling to me, because I guarantee if it was black on black, or if it was a white on white, none of this would be talked about. None of this would be on TikTok, and people are talking about it and giving their own opinions. And this one woman on TikTok, which I don't know her name, she's comparing it to Rosa Parks. I'm like, what are you talking about, woman? What are you talking about? You sound unhinged. You sound ridiculous. Okay, saying that Carmelo Anthony didn't do anything wrong, that he doesn't deserve this, that it was like Austin's fault. Austin provoked this. Were you there? Did you witness this? You didn't witness anything. You're just going by your point of view and your ignorance. Okay, and I wish I would have known her name so I can just say her name in my video, but I don't. But it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, and the black community is just unhinged, because they support black criminals. If they stab another person, if they're not, if they're white or a different race, it's a race thing. It's a race thing when it's not a race thing. Someone took another person's life. They committed a crime. That's what we should be focused on. The crime that was committed on that day. Period. It should not be about race. Why does it have to be about race? Why? That is the $1 million question. Why does it have to be about race? I don't understand this. I really don't. I printed out the police report, which I'm going to read to you guys. Okay, but there's none of justification for what happened. Okay, it's unexcusable. It shouldn't have happened. The kid should have just moved and went somewhere else. Sat in his own tent. Where were the parents? Where were the parents? Where were the parents? Just, the parents saying that he was a good kid, but carry a weapon to school. Were the parents aware that their child carried a knife? Were they aware of that? Were they aware of their son's, activities and stuff like that? Were they present in their son's life? I don't know, but that's the question that I'm asking. Where were they? Did they knew that their son had a knife? Did they knew that their son was angry? Because it seemed like he was angry. I wasn't there, but when I was reading the arrest report, and the eyewitnesses has witnessed what he said, he seemed like very angry that if you do something, something's going to happen. And it's so funny in the TikTok feeds that people are saying, well, Austin touched him. Austin touched him, so he deserved it. He deserved to get stabbed. Listen, if someone tells you to move and took his and Austin took his book bag, the right thing to do is move. Okay, let me tell you something. I don't condone violence. Okay, I really don't. If someone put their hands on me, it depends on the circumstances. You know, if I'm being attacked and the person continued to attack me, yes, I think everyone should have that right to defend themselves within reason. But I believe that that's not what happened that day. Okay, Austin Metcalf took Carmelo Anthony's book back to move it to somewhere else, and that's when Anthony Carmelo got hostile and upset and had rage in him and stabbed the kid in the heart. That's what happened. Okay? There was no fight broke out. There was no being bullying. How can you bully someone when you don't know them? Make it make sense. That's what allegedly what Carmelo Anthony's saying. Oh, I was bullied. Bullied by who? Those two twin boys, they didn't even know you. They never seen you before in their life. So nice try. Because I'm not buying it, and most people are not buying it either. Okay? But that's the only defense that he can say. That I defended myself. And he confessed. He stabbed the kid. So I don't understand why he's saying all this stuff now. Maybe his lawyers are telling him this. Maybe his parents. And made it paint out to be that he's a good kid. And he has a 3-point GPA average. That doesn't mean anything. You took another kid's life for no apparent reason because you got aggressive, because you got nasty, because you did not want it to get up and leave, to go to your tent. If you would have done this, none of this would have happened. Austin would still be alive right now. The parents wouldn't be going through this. When you make one fatal mistake, it will affect everyone's life. Everyone. But he made the wrong decision. He thought he was tough and almighty, think he was a man, you know, because he had a knife in him, went in his book bag, grabbed the knife and stabbed the kid. Because the kid asked you to move. That give you a valid reason to take someone's life because some kid asked you to move and now you're using some excuse that you were bullied? Boy, bye. I can't. Boy, bye. You was not bullied, okay? They didn't know you, okay? The self-defense is BS. He didn't even have a weapon on him. So how can you defend yourself when the other person didn't have anything on him? Make it make sense. This is just ridiculous. And then the black community, they're condoning this. They think this is okay, which is utterly disgusting. Again, I'm going to say this is not a race thing. This is about a 17-year-old boy, Carmelo Anthony, took another kid's life. Austin Metcalf. Plain and simple. That's it. That's all it is. Nothing else. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they're condemning this. I don't know why they're accepting black criminals when they do something. Instead of saying what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. What Carmelo Anthony did was wrong and he should be punished. He should be held accountable. There's no accountability. People raised $250,000 for this kid. Like he did something right. He was defending himself. Get out of here. He did not. He killed someone. And he had that intent to do something to that kid. Okay? Why carry a pocket knife or a knife at all? Especially in a school. To me, that's a violation. You know what I mean? I'm just disgusted with the black community, and I'm black myself, and I can't believe they have the nerve to say this is a race thing, when clearly it is not. Unhinged. Let me just pull up the arrest report so I can read it to you because I'm just disgusted. I'm just disgusted that they would say that. You know what I mean? Why they support black criminals? Why? Of course, George Floyd. There's other people I just can't think of on the top of my head because I'm just angry. And then now they're supporting this. This is utterly disgusting. Let me pull up the police report. So this is a police report of Carmelo Anthony. Now, dated on April 2nd of 2005. Okay. The next police report is Hernan Eduardo Cortez. He was a police officer who arrested Carmelo Anthony. And I'm going to read to you what the report said. Let me just pull it up. No, that's not it. Sorry. Boy, you would think I'd be better at this technology thing. Technology. No. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this is what the police report says. Once I arrived onto the north side bleachers let me start all over. Sorry. Once I arrived onto the north side bleachers, an adult male who was on the track pointed out the suspect. I was not able to identify that witness. The individual that was pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hoodie, sweater, and dark color, Nike pants. The suspect at this point was on the track on the north end. So let me continue on. Okay. Tracked on the north end. There was a chain link fence that separated from me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. It should be noted that I did not question him about the incident when he made that comment. I asked him if he had any weapons, and he said no. I patted him down for weapons while we were walking along the fence, and I did not locate any of this person. I instructed the male to continue walking along the fence. Then he told the police officer that he was defending himself, and it says, Camilo Anthony said, "Put your hands on me." I told him not to, and then that's it. And then you know the rest, okay? So, and he even said that he was defending himself and he stabbed the kid. So, my question to you guys: do you think that Carmelo Anthony should get a free pass because he stabbed Austin Metcalf? Do you think that people should praise him and congratulate him because he took another 17-year-old kid? Or should he be condemned and be tried like an adult? Because if you're an adult carrying a weapon to school and to take another life, you should be an adult to be trial like an adult, which he's going to be, especially he's in Texas, because Texas people don't play. They don't play at all. Now, what I think, in my opinion, okay, and this is how I think it's going to play off. I protect myself, the defense thing, it's not going to fly, okay, because you have too many witnesses. Too many people have seen what happened that day, okay? That's the only defense that he can use or say, because he doesn't have anything else, because he knows that he's in the wrong. And of course, he's going to tell his lawyer, and his lawyer is going to say, well, I have to look at all the footage and hear all the eyewitnesses and their interviews and see what is going on, if it was really self-defense. And clearly, it was not self-defense. We all can see it. Even though we wasn't there, we all know this was not a self-defense. This was murder. Point blank, period. Murder, murder, murder. This kid murdered another kid, okay? And like I said, it had nothing to do with race. It had nothing to do with him being black and then Austin being white. Because if it was black on black, this wouldn't be on social media, okay? I'm just so sick and tired when a young black man, or a black adult do something criminal to another person. It has to be race. Why? Why it couldn't be? Why people can't say, where were the parents? Why are people not holding the parents accountable? I don't understand. The kid was living under the parents' roof, okay? Until the kid is legally 18 and move out of the parents' house, then that's on the kid. But the kid is a minor, and he was living under his parents' roof. The parents should be aware what your child is doing. Let me tell you something. When I was living with my parents and I was a minor, my parents did not play. I fear my parents, okay? They were strict. They were hard on me and my sisters, okay? We got a belt whipping. We got the slap in the face. They put the fear in me and my sisters, and that shit worked. Part of my language, it worked. It kept us straight. We didn't act up. We didn't do anything crazy like this. If we get picked or bullied, we let my parents know, and we let the teachers know, then they take care of it. But what I can say is, my parents always tell me, if you feel like you're being attacked and someone put your hands on you and keep putting your hands, defend yourself, obviously, within reason. And that's what people used to do back in the days. They used to use their fists, their hands. There was no pocket knife or guns or none of that stuff back in the day when I was growing up. People actually use their fists to defend themselves. But now people are using knives and guns and trying to stab people left and right. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, it all stems from the home. Okay? It all stems from the home. It's how you raise your kids. I'm sorry. People may not agree with me. People are going to disagree with me. People are going to say, how dare you, Cheryl? You're not a parent yourself. You shouldn't be saying that. But let me tell you something. I was a kid at one point. I was 17, 16, 15 at one point. And I can tell you this. My parents raised me and my sisters, and they were strict. And you didn't see none of us being criminals. You don't see none of us taking someone else's life, because we were fearful of our parents. We were fearful of the repercussion, what they would do to us. Among other people, we were afraid to go to jail. Okay? I'm just being serious. We were afraid to go to jail and to be taken away from our parents. That was this. That I'm being honest. Our parents were strict, and I'm grateful and thankful they were strict. They were involved in my life, in my education, and my sisters as well. They were actively involved, even though they had busy schedules and they worked for full time. Pardon me, but they were there. They were present. They didn't miss a beat. My parents, okay, and I'm so grateful and thankful that they instill in us right from wrong and things that we should not be doing to other people, and be kind and be respectful. And if things escalate and things happen, report it, say something, or walk away. Walk away. Unless something extreme happened, then that's one thing. But if something gets escalated, walk away. People don't do that these days. That's the same. This is the example of Carmelo Anthony. He did not walk away. He could have easily walked away, and he chose not to. He chose violence. He chose to take someone's life. Okay? So I'm sorry, it all stems down to the parents. It's how you raise your kids. If you are not active, if you're not present, if you're not telling your kids right from wrong, and I'm not saying they didn't tell their son that. I'm not in that household, but there's some parents that are not very active or present with their child's life because they're working and doing this and doing that they don't even know what their child is doing. They don't know what's going on in their child's head. And that does happen. And what I'm saying is there have to be some accountability towards the parents, and stop using the race card, because it gets really old really quick, and no one's not falling for it anymore. It's not like Rodney King back in the 90s. Like, it's not like Carmelo Anthony was beaten down like a pole by white people. That's not the case. Roosevelt Park, nothing like that. Okay, so I just don't understand why people are saying that. I don't know why people keep using a race card. I don't know why people are like, not protesting, but not accepting black young men, accepting their bad behaviors, when they should be blaming the parents and having the parents be accountable for this. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You know, it's just crazy. Because growing up, it never used to be like this. Never. Things has changed over a decade. Things have changed. We're in 2025. This never happened, ever, when I was growing up. And it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy, and it's sad. And I just wanted to give my point of view and my perspective that this is not a race thing. People the black community need to stop saying that, because it's not. Okay, it's a young 17-year-old boy, Carmelo Anthony, took another kid's life. That's it. And he should be held accountable and responsible, and take it like a man and serve time. Because he's going to spend his rest of his life in prison. His life is over, like I said. It's finished, it's done. So whatever he says to his attorney, or his attorney telling to the press that it's self-defense, it's BS. No one's not buying it. And if I was the defense lawyer, he might as well cut a deal, because it makes no sense for it to go to trial, because it would be stupid and foolish for the attorney to tell Carmelo Anthony to take it to trial because, like I said, there's so many witnesses have eyewitnessed everything that happened in that incident. So I would take a plea deal. Pardon me, take a plea deal and serve your time because that's where you're going. I'm sorry, I'm harsh, but I tell the truth. Serve your time. If you're man enough to carry a knife and stab someone, you could be a man enough to be charged like an adult and go to prison for your last dying days. Oh, did I say dying? Let me take that back. Your last days. Okay. Let me rephrase that because I don't want anyone to die. That's not my intention at all. But there should be some accountability for Carmelo Anthony's actions because people should not be praising criminals, okay? Whether the black, white, Asian, yellow, green, blue, listen. If you do the crime, you got to pay the time. That's how it goes. If you break the law, there's consequences of your action in breaking the law. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter of what skin color you are. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Doesn't matter. If you commit a crime, you got to serve the time. That's it. That's the bottom line. And we got to stop using the race card because I'm bored hearing that crap. It's a whole lot of BS, and I'm not falling for it. And a lot of people not following it either. Okay, it's just ridiculous. And the black community, get it together. Get it together. I know I'm gonna get some black backlash and all these weird comments, but bring it, because all I'm doing is speaking the truth and giving some clarity to my viewers, and I want to get my viewers' input on what they think. Am I out of line? Did I say too much? Should I just keep my mouth shut and not say anything? But you know what? I speak the truth. I speak the truth. I speak my mind. And when things get really ridiculous and and stupid, I'm going to say something. I'm going to call it out. And I have no problem doing that. I have no fear doing that because the only person that I fear is my God. That's it. That's the only person I fear. Okay? I don't fear anything. I don't fear the truth or anything. As long as I'm speaking my truth and speaking my point of view and my perspective, that's all that matters. And then the viewers, their opinion matters to me as well. So again, let me know your thoughts and your comments of this video that I share with you guys. And I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. And I will see you guys next time. Take care and God bless. Love you all.